Hello, hello. My name is Grim or Solus, and I've been seeing this challenge go around called the Clan Generator Challenge. It's where you generate a clan and you draw it, or try and make a story from it, or both, or just pretty much just try and do something with it in some way, shape, or form. And I wanted to do that because I've been drawing cats a lot recently, and I've been getting back into warriors to a degree, or at least the concept of warriors, just wild cats living in the wild, doing their own little thing. And the clan I generated is called Canyonclan, the sensitive and unguarded. And that really intrigued me, especially for the fact of there's only 11 cats in this clan, which isn't typically normal for a clan. So there was a little story that I could already piece together, especially from where they live and from their personality, or well, the clan personality. So let's get into it. First up is Knightstar, the leader. He is a black Tom with short fur and copper eyes. As you can see, I didn't go with the short fur because I felt like long fur fit him better. He is possibly the youngest leader Canyonclan has ever had, and that is due to the fact of he took on his leadership way sooner than anyone ever expected, and that is because 3 moons ago, a tragedy struck. An earthquake hit the clan, causing one of the canyon walls to fall onto the camp and killed the majority of the cats, with only 9 survivors, the cats who weren't in the camp and the cats who managed to just barely escape. As you can see, Knightstar didn't escape unscathed. He has a scar over his eye and is now permanently blind in that eye. He got this scar by pretty much body blocking a falling rock that was heading straight for his younger brother Supa, and he managed to get both him and his younger brother Supa out of the way and out of the camp. Uh, he is a very kind and loving soul, and he's giving his clanmates time to process what has happened. So they don't. So he's allowing them not to immediately get back into their duties. He's allowing them to get back to it at their own pace, not pushing, not being pushy, and just letting them just slowly and surely process everything that has happened. Uh, if only he would allow himself that same luxury. He's been really pushing himself to just get things going and try and get the clan back to its former glory. And hopefully he'll learn that he doesn't have to do that alone, and that there are others in the clan that are willing to help him. Next up is the Deputy Comafoot. She is a long-haired, black and red backed tortoiseshell she-cat with hazel eyes. I had to look up what a coma was, and it's a butterfly, apparently. So I tried to make her chest tops and her cheek tops fan out like butterfly wings, and you can see that her chest spot kind of resembles a butterfly slightly. She was out of camp when the tragedy struck, so she was safe along with 2 other cats, Garlic Tail and Spider Stream, away from the tragedy. Uh, and when they got back to camp and they saw what had happened, Comafoot really like stepped up and started working on trying to get everything going again, trying to make sure everyone's okay, trying to get everyone like going, very go attitude, and that's why she was made Knightstar's deputy, because of her go attitude and her relative positive attitude currently. And she's come to realize that the reason she still has a very positive attitude after the tragedy is because she doesn't feel emotionally affected by the tragedy. She's not feeling any real grief, any real sorrow. And this distresses her a little bit more than the tragedy has, because she's concerned on why she isn't feeling the grief and the sorrow that the other cats are feeling. So she's going to be working through that to see and figure out if it's just how she processes stuff is different than the others, or there's something else happening with her. And hopefully she'll see that people process death differently, and her way of processing is just a tad different than the rest of her clan, and that's okay. Next up is the medicine cat Weasel Pelt, a short-haired cinnamon she-cat with yellow eyes. I'm not sure if I portrayed the cinnamon quite correctly, but it's fine. She looks like a weasel. That was really all I was really aiming for. Uh, I have a lot of design notes that I made for all the characters, and I was considering putting cinnamon, like actual cinnamon sticks in her fur, because she's a cinnamon cat. I looked up quickly before doing that, if cinnamon could kill the cat, and it does, so I wrote in my design notes, do not include actual cinnamon, she will die. So I just thought that was funny, I need to tell you all. Anyway, Weasel has been the medicine cat for about 30 moons now, or like before the tragedy, alongside her former mentor. And she was out gathering herbs when the disaster hit. She was out gathering herbs with Eckert Whisker, which is one of the queens. So her and Eckert Whisker were relatively physically unaffected from the tragedy. Weasel is heartbroken about what had happened, but she knows that her clan needs her in her right mind right now. So she has much to do, and she can't afford to like get lost in her sorrow. So she's been keeping busy with making sure her main clanmates are healthy and that the herb stores are full at all times. She's especially been keeping busy with helping Knightstar through his new injury of being blind in one eye and helping him, like get assimilated to it. Same with Golden Claw, who is one of the warriors who also got injured and is helping her get through her new injury as well. I'm hoping that she will learn that she doesn't need to do everything by herself. She has a similar lesson to Knightstar that she needs to learn that she doesn't need to do everything by herself and that she can ask for help and that she's allowed to take breaks. So hopefully those two can learn how to, slow down every once in a while and get to enjoy things. Now onto the warriors. The first one up is Garlic Tail, a white tom with short fur and amber eyes. Garlic Tail was out of camp with Comafoot. He was one of the patrol cats that were out with her, so he was physically unaffected from the collapse, from the tragedy. Garlic Tail is the brother of Eckert Whisker. I have no idea if I'm saying that right at all. Eckert Whisker, which is one of the queens. And he's always been a quiet cat. Garlic Tail has been a cat of very few words. And it seems the tragedy has made him even more a cat of very few words. So few words that they haven't heard him spoke in the past 3 moons at all. He still performs his duties, and he still sits and listens to his clanmates, and he participates in conversation, just not verbally. But he just doesn't give any of the short, small answers that he used to give before. And I'm hoping that he can learn how to properly express himself even without words, hoping that he can get better at being able to express his feelings and just be able to be there for others and others be there for him. Like a lot of the cats in Canyonclan have a lesson to learn about being more open and allowing others to help them. Next up is Spiderstream, a short-haired white she-cat with black and red mackerel calico tail and ears and yellow eyes. That is a long description. As you can see on her design, I tried to give her like a little like spider web look at the base of her tail, like where her body and tail meet, just because I thought it would make more sense for her to be called Spider if she had some sort of spider thing going on. But yeah, she wasn't at camp when the thing happened. She was the other cat on the patrol with Garlic Tail and Comafoot. So she was physically unaffected from the but recently, the way she's been dealing with the tragedy is that she's been focusing all of her energy into make sure the clan appears strong to the other clans. She fears that their great loss in clans would tempt the other clans into trying something. So she's scared that with so few cats and how weak the clan looks, that she's scared that like other cats are going to try and take advantage of that. So she's been working really, really hard on making sure that the clan appears strong, and she's been working really, really hard on making sure her apprentice Rookpaw can become the best warrior he can be. She's also tried to persuade Fennelisker, one of the queens, into taking on some training too, only to be chased out of the den by Eckert Whisker. Like, Fennelisker didn't go through warrior training or any of the such, so like, Spiderstream's like really like, hey, come on, come on. But yeah, she is a bit pushy and she's a bit, bossy, but she means well, and hopefully she can learn that she doesn't need to appear strong, that she is strong with her clan, even without, like, unsheathed claws. Now for the final warrior, Golden Claw. She is a blue and cream mackerel tortoiseshell she-cat with short fur and gold eyes. I'm now realizing that a lot of these cats were mackerels, and I just didn't give them any stripes at all. It's fine, whatever. Also, as you can see, she has heterochromia in this, and that is because I realized that every single one of these cats either had copper, hazel, yellow, or gold. Or amber eyes. Just no real variety here, in any other, like, area that wasn't, like, in the orange or brown section. So I decided to just go and give her a blue eye. She had been in camp when the disaster happened, and she managed to escape with her life, but her leg got mangled from a rock falling onto it, like a large rock. And the other cats managed to get her out from under it, but her leg had already been severely damaged, and Weasel felt doubts that it will ever be the same as it was. Uh, Golden Claw has been working really hard to get through her exercises and get through her healing process so she can get back onto patrols and hunts with the other clan members. And she's really impatient and she really wants to get like this thing going, and like she's really stressing out Weasel Pelt with like just constantly like wanting to like get going and not allowing her like to heal properly. So hopefully she'll learn that uh being patient is sometimes the best option, and hopefully she'll learn that lesson before she permanently screws up her leg even worse than it already is. Now for the apprentices, the first one up is Supa, a black Tom with short fur and copper eyes. This is Knightstar's younger brother. Uh, Supa had been in the camp when the earthquake hit, and he would have been crushed if his older brother hadn't rushed him out of camp. But like I said earlier, Knightstar saved him from a rock just smacking right into him. Supa, before the disaster, was a sweet, excitable little thing that has been turned angry and bitter. He feels that what had happened shouldn't have, and that StarClan should have warned them. He's also suffering from survivor's guilt about why he got saved and got to live, but the others didn't. So he's very much starting to doubt StarClan. He's starting to get really angry and upset and bitter, and he feels really bad about being the one to survive and the others didn't. His parents, his friends, his just everyone he ever knew really. Uh he doesn't quite like the loners that have joined. There are three loners. Like I said, there was 9 survivors, so and there's 11 cats. So 3 of those cats were not here for the disaster. He feels really better towards them uh because they didn't experience what he experienced. They didn't experience the great loss that they had, and they think they can just join this clan and it'd be alright. So like Sapon's being really angsty and upset. And he especially doesn't like the other apprentice who is one of the loners, named Rickpaw. He especially doesn't like Rickpaw because Rickpaw reminds him of what he was like. The sweet, excitable little thing that he was. He really hates that like Rickpaw still has that about him, and Sootpaw feels like he had that taken away. And also I forgot to mention this with Comafoot, but Comafoot is his mentor. And he's also quite upset with his mentor because why wasn't she sad? Why wasn't she angry? He worries, like, does she even care? Kind of thing. So he's very much going through it, and it makes sense. A horrible thing has happened. And hopefully he'll learn that he doesn't have to go through this alone, that he can have friends, and he can have people care about him, and that he deserved to survive. Now for the second and final apprentice, Rookpaw, a sparse-haired, black-spotted tabby tom with amber eyes. I am now realizing that he was not a freaking mackerel. Like, he was the only one I really drew as a mackerel, and he was a spotted. So, anyway, I was really excited to get a sparse-haired cat, because my immediate thought was just LaCoy. I could make him a LaCoy, and I made him a LaCoy. Uh, as I said, he's one of the loners. He came in with his grandmother Cormorant Heart and another loner that they picked up along the way named Fennelisker, who is one of the queens. Rookpaw is like the definition of boys will be boys in the best way possible. Like, he's always trying to do stupid stuff and play around with others. He's very sweet and very goofy. Not the brightest, but you know, it's fine. He's sweet. He's especially excited about being in a clan around new cats. He loves meeting people, he loves talking to people, but he feels a bit out of place, and that is because he is now living through the aftermath of a tragedy he didn't experience. And he feels bad about that. Like, these cats went through something horrible, and now he's here, and he didn't experience that. He doesn't feel the great sorrow that they feel, and he feels, like, bad for that, which he shouldn't. He shouldn't feel bad that he didn't go through something bad. Like, but hopefully he'll learn that he doesn't need to go through something bad to connect with other people who've gone through something bad. If that makes sense. He's just got a lot to learn, and hopefully he can get Supa out of his angsty little, spiteful, gloomy shell, and hopefully they'll become friends, and hopefully that they'll be able to help each other, and they can grow and just become good friends. Or more. Who knows? I don't really know yet if they will, but hmm. Now for the queens, the first one up is Eckert Whisker, a white she-cat with short fur and amber eyes. As you can see, I did not go with short fur because I looked what an egret was, which is a kind of crane bird that has like very long, pretty feathers, so I wanted to incorporate that into her design. Uh, she wasn't in the camp when the disaster happened. She was with Weasel Pelt out collecting herbs to like get Eckert Whisker out of the den for a little bit because she's a perma queen, and she has been ever since her first and only litter of kids many moons before the tragedy. And she plans on staying a perma queen well into elderhood. Um, she sadly lost her kits who had just become warriors to the disaster, and she misses them greatly and is unsure whether she will ever become a mother again because she doesn't know if she can handle another loss like that. Though she will be helping expecting parents through their time in the nursery like she is helping Fennelisker. And maybe she can learn that if she so wishes she can be a mother again, and that at the very least she doesn't need to have biological kits to be a mother. She can parent. I feel like she could become like the mother figure of the clan. Like, she loves the clan deeply, and I think it'd be good for the clan to have a mother figure to some degree. I really feel like some of the cats could really use that direction, like especially Supa, and maybe Comafoot could really use someone who can guide them like a mother could. Next up, for the second queen and the final queen is Fennelisker, a short-haired cream classic tabby she-cat with hazel eyes. I think she's the least developed personality and backstory wise to the rest of the clan. Like, all she really currently has is that she was a loner with Cormorant Heart and Rookpaw, and she's very far along in her pregnancy. Like, she's gonna have kids like within the next moon or so. And she's very excited and nervous to become a mother, but Eckert Whisker is being very kind and helping her prepare for her motherhood. Uh, so like I said, Fennelisker isn't that developed compared to the others, mostly because I just couldn't really think of anything too much. But I feel like she probably has a lot of anxieties too of this is a new place. She's only been here for like a moon with Rookpaw and Cormorant Heart. And she's very nervous about if her kits could grow up safe here because she's heard of the disaster that's happened. She is worried about what could happen to her own kits and to the two that she's bonded with, the two cats she's bonded with, Cormorant Heart and Supa, about being in this place. And now for the final cat, the one and only elder, Cormorant Heart. She's a short-haired, black-tipped tabby she-cat with copper eyes. As you can see, I didn't go with that, because when I was reading through it, and I noticed that Rookpaw was a black-spotted tabby, and she was a black-tick tabby, and they both had very similar eyes, amber and copper. I was like, they are related, and you can't tell me otherwise, especially since their prefixes match, Rick and Cormorant, which are both birds. And I made her a Lakoi. She's a purebred Lakoi, and she was a kitty pet before she became a loner with her loner mate. And she had her daughter, who then had Rookpaw, and Cormorant's daughter and mate passed away due to sickness, and she took up taking care of Rookpaw. She met Fennelisker, like maybe no, I would say like a moon, maybe before they joined Canyonclan. And, Cormorant Heart is like starting to lose vision in her eyes, like she's starting to go blind. And she decided that being out in the wild, like without like any other cats really, with a pregnant cat, a cat going blind, and a very young and excitable little boy, isn't the best call. So when she heard tales of Canyonclan, she led the group there, and they were accepted with open paws because who is Knightstar to deny three wonderful cats to join? like two pretty capable like cats, a young cat who would be an apprentice and a young cat who would be a queen, and bring in more cats to the clan with her litter. And Cormorant Heart has already shown to be very sweet and very nice. And she's honestly taken on a kind of an advisory role of like uh she's like very much like the old grandma who like gives you like really good advice. And that's Canyonclan. As you can see, a lot of their issues revolve around more internal uh, situations inside themselves, like their emotions and stuff. Like I see a lot of people like uh, have like an actual like outside threat or a threat within the clan, but what is their threat is just their own emotions and the way they're dealing with a tragedy that has struck. And that's because they are the sensitive and unguarded. And typically with the typically with unguarded, it means they like show their emotions and stuff, but the clan has very much been bottling up their emotions ever since the tragedy. So a lot of their story is going to be getting back to their unguarded roots. And as you can tell with the sensitive thing, they feel hard. Like they their feelings are like tenfold kind of thing. So if they were to have a story, it would be a lot about just rebuilding their clan in the way of emotion and of course numbers, and just getting close with one another again, and pretty much just found family. It's gonna be found family. If it was an actual story, it would be it would be found family. Uh, but yeah, that would be their story. But thank you for watching, and thank you for learning about Canyonclan with me, because like these cats have only existed for like 4 days, and I am so emotionally attached to them. I may do this again with another generator, like do another clan, like maybe a bigger one, because I did want to go for a smaller one this time around. Uh, but yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.